Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to give you guys a follow-up video for how Fury Warriors are coming along in Legion. Now, I did a video like this quite a while ago, but ever since then there have been a lot of changes made to the spec, many of them positive by the way, so I kind of wanted to make a follow-up video and show you guys what's changed. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Right now I'm on my level 110 Fury Warrior, Swag Donalds, because he's serving motherfuckers daily, and he has full 810 PvP gear, and his artifact weapons are 750, and they are fully upgraded except for this one thing that's apparently going to take 300,000 over 300,000 artifact power. So that's for another video. Anyway, so you guys can see I've got all my artifact talents except for that one, and my weapons are 750 item level. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the talents. There have been a lot of changes made to the talents here. Our 15 talents are Killing Machine. When you kill a target, it gives you 30% haste and 30% movement speed for 10 seconds. I would say this is basically just a leveling talent, and in my opinion, probably not even good for PvP. This is probably better for PvP, so you can have a stronger opener on people, and even this one would be better. I think that this is basically a useless talent unless you're leveling up, and if you're leveling up as a warrior, you're not even going to really need it to begin with. Anyway, for the next talent, I guess like the 30 talents, you've got Shockwave. This is mostly a CC ability, and Stormbolt is going to be the main ability that you're going to be using in PvE, single target. It does significantly more damage than Shockwave does, and also it's only a 30-second cooldown, where Shockwave would be a 40-second cooldown. Shockwave might be better whenever you're fighting multiple targets. Double time is made a little bit better. Now it increases the amount of charges on charge by 1, and also reduces the cooldown on charge by 3 seconds, so that's very good. Your 45 talents have Wrecking Ball. Your attacks have a chance to make your next whirlwind cost no rage and deal 200% extra damage. This is very, very good. I think this is going to be more of a PvP talent. I don't really know, just like kind of for cleave damage and battlegrounds and stuff. But also it could be good in maybe different situations in raids. But personally, I think combining Avatar with Bladestorm and Dragon Roar, as we've talked about before, is going to be more powerful than having Wrecking Ball, just because the auto attack proc doesn't really happen that often. Outburst works the same as it did before. Makes Berserker Rage cause Enrage. Enrage works basically the same way as it did before. It makes you take 30% more damage and also attack 100% faster, and also unlocks the ability Raging Blow. Berserker Rage is now a 1-minute cooldown, and Outburst no longer reduces the cooldown on Berserker Rage. Avatar is basically the same as it is right now. It just makes you do more damage for 20 seconds. Very simple. Your 60 talents are Furious Charge. Charge now increases the healing from your next Bloodthirst by 300%. They keep trying to make Furious Charge work. It's like, I don't know why they're trying to do this. Charge, I don't really think this is very good. Personally, like, I don't know, I guess that's just me. Like, let me see. So, Bloodthirst heals for 20% health, 300%. Just a second, where is it? Okay, just as if he comes back, I'll get him. It's Moth. Okay, anyway, the Furious Charge, I don't really think this is worth it for really anything. Bounding Stride, I think this is going to be more or less the PvE talent, and in more, I guess, like more serious situations that don't require mobility, Warpaint will be the best. What will be the best for PvP, I would probably assume would be Bounding Stride, just for the mobility, but also Furious Charge could be good if you're in more of a battleground situation. Your 75 talents, Massacre, execute critical strikes, cause your rampage to cost no rage. I don't know. I mean, I just don't really think it's that useful, personally. Just because usually a 20% phase lasts for a very small percentage of the fight, usually 20% of the fight or less. But anyway, maybe for like the last boss in Eye of Ashara or something like that. But outside of that, I wouldn't really say Massacre is very useful whatsoever. Frothing Berserker, whenever you reach under rage, your inner damage is increased by 20%, 10% unfortunately, and your movement speed is increased by 30% for 6 seconds. I think that this is just like, this is probably what I'm going to be using for single target damage, and the reason for that is whenever you combine that with Reckless Abaddon with your Battle Cry, and just like the two here I don't really think are that useful personally. This is just like what I'm doing. No, I don't really have a lot of theory crafting going into this yet though. that will always give you this this buff right here, and so 10% more damage is pretty good. And also you're going to be reaching 100 rage pretty regularly, because you have to wait for at least 85 rage in order to use Rampage, and you're going to be wanting to use Rampage as much as you can. And so just hitting one extra ability and getting to that 100 rage for 10% more damage, and then using Rampage, and that's going to be doing always 10% more damage with that Rampage into your Enrage ability, Enrage, I guess, like timer or whatever you want to call it. I guess like your range uptime is going to be extremely powerful. And so I would say Frothing Berserker, just by the way it kind of works in with your talents, is going to be very, very good for single target DPS on fights that start from 100% and go all the way down to 0. A fight that starts at 50 and goes down to 0, Massacre will be, of course, obviously, comparatively better, probably. Bladestorm does a lot of damage here, almost 800,000 damage. I haven't really had too much time to test this out. Maybe I might just test it out in a minute here with you guys, but obviously this is still going to be the AoE talent. It's pretty much the same as it is now. Your 90 talents, Whirlwind causes your Rampage to strike up to 4 targets for additional 50% damage. This is basically your AoE talent, very simple. Frenzy, Furious Slash now increases the haste 5 times, 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Furious Slash is in the least shitty, I guess, like, iteration that it has been, and I think that it's almost not terrible, okay? And so, I think that this is obviously going to be probably the best talent for single target DPS, especially if you can keep up the buff. Inner Rage is also going to be very strong. No longer requires Enrage, but deals 100% increased damage, but has a 4.5 second cooldown. The thing with that is that I don't really know how good this is going to be, personally, because whenever you have Raging Blow, it's going to help you get even more rage because you're hitting it as many times as you can, and whenever it's generating rage, that means you're getting more Rampages, and Rampages do a lot of damage. And so I don't really see where really Inner Rage is going to come into play here. It might be really useful in PvP or something, but other than that, I don't really see it being better than Frenzy. Your level 100 talents here, we've got Carnage, reduces the cost of Rampage with 20 Rage. Pretty simple, right? So it would be down to 65 Rage. If you're using this, I would probably assume that this is not going to be very good at all. Reckless Abaddon, Battlecry generates 100 Rage, and Dragon Roar basically does the same thing it does now, on top of making you deal 20% more damage for 6 seconds. So the whole idea here is you pop Avatar, pop Dragon Roar, pop Bladestorm, and then you kill everything, right? And it's just fucking ridiculous, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and get down to the rotation here. Usually what I do is I charge in, I go ahead and I'll pop Battlecry as I charge in, just to get my first Bloodthirst in there and make sure that's a critical strike, and then I'll go ahead and use a Rampage, and then as soon as the Rampage is done, I'll go ahead and use another Bloodthirst within the Battlecry duration, and then I'll finish it up with Raging Blows, and then I should still have 100 energy rage to do another Rampage. And at that point, I'm basically just hitting Bloodthirst as many times as I can whenever it's up. Whenever Bloodthirst isn't up, I'm going to be hitting Furious Slash, and the reason for that is assuming I'm not enraged. If I am enraged, I will of course be using Raging Blow, and if I have enough rage to use it, I will of course be using Rampage, but assuming that those two aren't available, I'll be using Furious Slash. I haven't really been using Stormbolt too much, and the reason for that is because Furious Slash increases the chance for my Bloodthirst to crit by 15% each time it's used, and that stacks up to 6 times. So basically, it's going to be much more useful for me to be able to use Bloodthirst more often and have it crit more often, because that gives me Enrage, which gives me Raging Blow, which gives me more damage, which gives me more rage, which gives me more damage, right? So it's kind of like a, it's like a cycle that you want to keep going, and so obviously Furious Slash helps that happen a lot more than Stormbolt does. Personally, I'm probably not going to use this hardly at all. Odin's Fury is also very, very strong, and you pretty much want to use that on cooldown as well. I might work that into my opening rotation just to get the dot on people with the battle cry. But we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys like pretty much the way that a Fury Warrior feels to play, because it feels really good. Okay, so I charge in, and I should have changed that. Doesn't matter. So like you guys can't see, but like y'all can't hear the sound. But man, I feel so fucking badass like kicking these buttons in. There's Odin's Fury right there. Did a pretty good amount of damage, and right there, that was kind of a mistake. I should have used, I shouldn't have not have used my Rampage there. And they did change the thing where like haste reduces the cooldown, or reduces your enrage duration, which I was really glad about. So that's a very good thing. So at this point, I don't have either one of them up, probably because of bad play, one place or another. And so since that Bloodthirst crit, I went ahead and I did 3 Raging Blows. And then after the Raging Blows were over, I went and did Rampage to keep my my Enrage up. Since that, oh, I don't have that talent. Okay, I thought I did. Anyway, so then since I had 2 stacks of the Furious Slasher. See, there's a lot for me to think about here. There's a lot of shit going on. So I had the Meat Grinder proc. I just went ahead and used that. Might as well. And then there's another Rampage. Going ahead and just hitting Raging Blow as much as I can. Didn't quite get that one. Doesn't really matter here what I'm doing because I'm going to pop Battle Cry. And again, like all of these times, I would have hit 100 Rage and got that extra damage. One thing I'm really liking about playing this class, guys, and this is actually like really important to me, is it feels like, look at these numbers. Okay, these numbers are all over the fucking screen and I love it. Like, I love seeing numbers pop up everywhere. Like, I don't know what they did, but like at one point they made critical strikes not show up, like your white attack critical strikes not be huge on the screen. What a mistake. Like, I love seeing huge ass numbers coming up all over my screen doing top DPS. That's the best thing in the game. And so I'm really happy about just like kind of the way that numbers are showing up on the screen. And that's not just because I'm doing millions of damage. But anyway, guys, as you can see, the Fury Warrior rotation is probably a lot. In a way, even though the Bloodthirst doesn't have a 30% chance to crit anymore, I would say that it's probably still more dependable now that Rampage is guaranteed to give you, and see right there, see I did my Bloodthirst, and since it didn't crit, I went ahead and did a Rampage to keep my Enrage up as much as I can, and then I did the Bloodthirst crit, and then I'll try and see if I can keep it up there. At this point, I'm just going to be pretty much using the, what is that ability? Raging Blow. I can't believe I forgot that. And just pretty much do this over and over and over. And so you can see pretty much the way that this works. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of time to kind of figure out exactly what's supposed to happen when. And I'll go ahead and use Blade Storm just so you guys can see how much damage. Blade Storm is doing a very significantly large amount of damage, as you can see. And I do like the animation for it a lot better than the one that they had before. And the Whirlwind animation is unchanged, which is good because it's awesome. And honestly, guys, that's pretty much the way the rotation is working. I honestly, as I said before, I think this is a very, very big improvement from where Fury Warriors were before whenever I showed it to you guys. And again, so really what I need to be doing here is making sure that I keep up these 3 Frenzy stacks, and that's something that I haven't really been paying much attention to. And besides that, that's pretty much it. Just making sure. I wish I was able to get Executes in here and show you guys how much those do, but unfortunately I'm not able to. But as you can see, I do really enjoy playing this spec. It's definitely, as I said, I think it's a lot better than, look at, did you guys see those numbers? Those were really big. Okay, like that's what I'm talking about. And so anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got. I wanted to show you guys pretty much what's new with Fury Warriors. This is like one of my favorite specs. Like, I go back and forth about like Arms being my favorite spec, Fury being my favorite spec, but really I love both of them. And so to see the spec evolving and turning out to be pretty enjoyable and also fun to play, which is a big point, a big important thing. I think that that's very positive. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys want to see anything else on beta, or sorry, no, I guess it's not beta yet, but alpha, go ahead and let me know, and I can hook that up. I'm planning on probably, maybe doing some other stuff, like maybe just like going through some different raids and showing you guys what it would be like clearing a Mists of Pandaria raid or something like that with the gear that I have. Level 110, and so if you guys want to see that, go ahead and let me know. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for now. So thank you for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.